This is Podio 201 file integration. So training topics for this video. We're going to talk about how you can integrate external file services into your Podio account. So things like OneDrive, ShareFile, Google Drive, all can be connected to your Podio account so that you can grab files and add those to things like individual items, tasks, etc. inside of Podio. We'll show you how that works. We'll also talk about file management at the workspace level. And then a couple things to call out here. Within Podio, there is a maximum file size of 100 megabytes for uploads. And then for supported file types, it supports an awful lot of file types inside the files field in Podio, but we've got those listed out here just for your reference. So pretty straightforward, but let's go ahead and let's jump over to Podio and let's go to one of our apps real quick. So if I come into our projects app, let's go to project 4. If I come down, you'll see I've got this ability to choose a file. Now, this is really something that can be turned on and off. This is a kind of a hidden configuration a lot of people miss. I do have the ability, if I modify the template and unclick files can be attached, I do have the ability to turn off somebody's ability to attach files there. I'm going to go ahead, though, and turn that back on. So as an administrator, I'm going to say, yes, we can do this. And we've now got our choose file button. Now you can also drag and drop files, through the interface directly on here, and it will add them. But just to kind of give you an idea, if I click choose file, you'll see there's a few different things. So I can select files from my computer. I can drag files, from a folder over here. What I can also do is I can also add file services. So if I click this button, you'll see this is where we can come and start to add and integrate different file services to our Podio account. So for example, in this one, I've got a ShareFile account set up with some files and folders, as well as a connection to OneDrive for business. So really easy to do to get those set up. You basically just come in, choose your file service, go through the authentication process, and you're good to go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drag a couple of these over here. So let's just drag this one over since we're talking about that, and I'll just drag web forms over so you can see it's pretty easy just to drag and drop the files, and those files now are listed on my item. Now, one cool side note I will mention is if you add the file, for example, if I were to add one through OneDrive for Business or ShareFile, it's going to open that as an online doc in a new link rather than clicking this will essentially download it. So if you are using something like the OneDrive integration, it's really nice to come in here, go to OneDrive, find your file. And it's nice because that link to that file that lives here that will look just like this is always going to be the most recent one. So you don't have to go through and, delete a file or replace a file and go through that whole exercise. You can leverage it so your files are always up to date. Now, what I can also do is I can also come out to the workspace side, and I can come up to my wrench, and I can come down here to workspace files. So now what's cool about this is I can go to one place for the entire workspace and see all of those files that have been imported into an item. So you can see these are the two that were related to test project 4. As with a lot of things in Podio, I can hyperlink over to this and see those. I've got some actions I can take, so I can download files, replace, delete. Again, all from one central place inside of Podio without having to go to each individual project item to find those things. So you can filter and sort, by a number of fields. You can choose who added it, all kinds of things to help you find your files. So again, if you're using files, as kind of supporting documentation to specific items or records that you're tracking in Podio, being able to connect a file service and use that attach file feature comes in really handy. So it's pretty simple.